I'm low and important. I'm just gonna talk about the Texans and the monstrosity that I just witnessed against the New York Jets. It is what, week 8? No, week 9. Kickoff's week 9. Texans 6-2, Jets 2-6, and Texans did not look good at all. One touchdown came from Joe Mixon, which is good. You can appreciate that he kept dominating, but apart from that, it was just a lot of just not great everything. Offense was sluggish at times. CJ, I was not on his game, really. I think he was the last stat I remember was he was 8 for 20 or something like that. I don't know exactly what he was. I'll look it up. But he I don't blame him all that much because he had no time to do anything. And a lot of people online were talking about what is this team going to do at the trade deadline or leading up to the trade deadline. What I saw two major things. I saw two. A lot of people said you should get CJ a new weapon to complement Nico Collins and Tank Dell because Diggs went down. Or I saw the other one, which was get offensive line help. And if you ask me, it is painstakingly obvious which one it needs to be. It has to be offensive line help. And the final stats for CJ tonight were a 36.7 completion percentage for 191 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, with a 59.2 rating. So nowhere near what we're used to seeing CJ Stroud doing. It sucks mainly as well because it comes against that Jets team who's on a 5-game losing streak. Not anymore, but it's like that's a game somehow that the Jets were favored, which I guess in hindsight, being 2020, was the right decision. Probably should have taken that money line. But it's a game that you just felt like would have done so much. It's a game. It's just a game to get you back to the week Nico Collins comes back. Nico Collins is projected. Everyone says he looks good to come back against Detroit, which is next Sunday. So this was kind of the game that you just need to survive, really. Just survive this game with what you have, and next week you're gonna be okay. You got your go-to guy back, and you just didn't. A couple injuries that happened, most notably that I can think of is Will Anderson Jr., who fresh off of a AFC Defensive Player of the Month, 7.5 sacks. I think that's either tied or more than last year already, and we're a month into the season. So he was riding it. I believe it was an ankle injury. He was questionable to come back. I never saw him come back. I don't know if he was just limited for the rest of the night. He was only in for like a play or two, and I just happened to miss him. Yep. I really hope that that's just something that happened tonight, and he works it off. The good news is, playing on the Thursday, is we have a week and like 3 days. We have like 10 days before our next game. So if there were injuries to happen, now this would be the game to do it because you have all the time to recuperate. Yeah, I mean, you have like, I guess unless you'd play Thursday night and then the next game is a Monday night. But like this is like the longest thing you can get really without a bye week. And so hopefully that injury is within the 10 days fixable, manageable, treatable. And the other one they hate to see is Kenyon Green, the left guard, which I know we've been hating on him a lot as Texans fans the past couple weeks, or really the last 2 weeks. Really, he's been bad. There's really you can't really sugarcoat it. Everyone who watches understands that. I, as a Texans fan, as a football fan, as a just a good human being, I think you don't want him to see him benched like that. You don't want to see him have to. I think it was his shoulder. You don't want to see him hurt his shoulder out for the game for him to get benched. That sucks. That's just the worst. So I hope he gets better, and I hope he has time on the bench to learn, and I think he can learn. And I hope all the injuries. I'm sure I missed them. I hope that they come back strong. I hope they come back healthy, and even better. Good news is, as well, Jets defense isn't terrible. Jets are a bad team. They're 2-6, 3-6 now. That defense is really good. You've got Quinnen Williams on that defensive line, who up until he got hurt was just bullying Kenyon Green, and even continued to bully the left guard that came in. Who I don't I might get it wrong, but I think it's Blake Fisher. No, Kendrick Green. Excuse me. Kendrick Green came in at least for a minute. Kendrick Green came in and he did better. He was better for a minute. I mean, Quinnen Williams is just a dog. I think regardless of who he goes through, and Kirk Herbstreit said it too on the broadcast. It's Kenyon Green who's been struggling versus Quinnen Williams who's been kind of on the uptick in terms of production. So I can be mad about that all I want, and I think it's only gonna get dramatized because a lot of it was on Kenyon Green, who we kind of red flagged for the past week. That that's kind of something that's keeping me like, yeah, it's just a loss. It sucks because Jets defense is good. Sauce Gardner was good. Um, there was a play late or not late, I guess, like kind of in the beginnings to the mid of the fourth quarter, where the Jets had like a 4th and 3, and Rogers Jets had the ball. The Rogers, I think, overthrew it or like incomplete or something like that. Something went wrong for the Jets, and Stingley got called for illegal contact, which the broadcasters seem to kind of be like, I'm not really sure if that's there or not. I don't know enough about flags, especially illegal contact, to be like, yep, like that is it or that's not it. So I don't know enough. I saw the replay. I thought, no, I'm biased, but I thought he looked okay. I thought it was the normal amount of pushing and shoving and kind of going against that you'd see on any other play. Once again, like I said, I'm not a referee. I don't know the rule book from the bottom to top. So maybe I just don't know what I'm looking for in illegal contact. Now, the play that really sticks out to me in the end was Jalen Petrie getting burned. If you watched any of it last year, you know this guy got burnt constantly over the top. And I get it. Tonight it was on Devonte Adams. Like Devonte Adams obviously is Devonte Adams. We can't take that away from him. One of the best receivers in the league. And I get the defensive coordinator, who I think D'Amico calls the plays. Whoever calls the plays had Petrie one on one on Adams. That is a recipe for disaster. Petrie just got cooked. It is simple as that. Petrie got cooked. Off the gate, he was gone. Out of the play, Devontae just walked in. Other thing we need to talk about, which is it's not really in our control. It kind of is. I missed one of them, but the one I can think about was kind of in our control that we kind of missed. But Garrett Wilson, he had two incredible one-handed grabs. I saw one. I saw the last one in the back of the end zone. I don't know where the other one was because I was getting my car ready to go home. But you can't. Like, that guy's a stud. That catch, especially the one I saw, that catch is like insane. The one I saw, Kamari Lassiter jumped way too early for that ball. I mean, he jumped and like full second later, or at least it felt like it. I'm sure it wasn't, but it felt like Garrett Wilson jumped a whole second after Kamari Lassiter jumped. Either way, either way, Garrett Wilson caught the ball and he got the necessary parts inbounds to secure the catch for a touchdown. Both were touchdowns. That's 14 points. and final score being 13-21. Take 14 off, that's 13-7. So that just kind of double sucks. It kind of double double stab, double dagger, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's mainly it. Uh, need to see offensive line help. I think desperately. CJ Stroud got sacked the most times in his career up to this point with 8, but he was looking like David Carr out there just running for his life. And I hate to. I mean, MetLife sucks. That field sucks, and I'm not the only one that hold that opinion. Plenty of times before people have held that opinion, and I do kind of wonder in the back of my head how much last year kind of was in CJ's mind because CJ obviously last year uh got hurt, got concussed at MetLife. So you just kind of wonder if that was ever a thing, if he was a little nervous, if that was kind of in the back of his mind. And he did go down for a second actually in this game. For a quick second, I don't know what he got hurt with. It looked like it was an ankle or like a foot or like a super lower leg injury. So, like, and he got sacked from that play, of course. So it's like that's why the offensive line needs to be such a focus because if you keep letting chances like that happen, you're not going to get lucky every time. It takes one freak, you know, fall, one freak tackle, maybe some guy comes in just a half a second later trying to make the play and he crushes you in just the wrong way. We can't afford that. Final thoughts being 6-3 is not the worst place to be. There are certainly worse records to have. The good news is we have the tiebreaker over the Colts. So if the Colts ever go on a run, we're okay on that front. At least if they tie, we're okay. I don't know where I'll look up our upcoming schedule. I know we play the Lions next, I think. I think. Yeah. No, that's right. Lions next Sunday, and it's the Cowboys, and then it's the Titans, and it's the Jags, Dolphins, Chiefs, loading, Ravens, Titans. So I mean, this schedule's not easy. Lions is gonna be tough, like really tough. Lions are probably the second best team. I mean, it's probably honestly Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, and you could flip a coin between those two. So Lions is gonna be tough. It looks like it's in Houston, so Nico Collins being back in front of a Houston crowd. It's primetime football. It's Sunday night. Gotta get it done, and then it's the Cowboys and Monday night football. And Cowboys have kind of been sliding. Dak Prescott seems very gettable right now, so hopefully we jump on him. And then we have a bit of a minute to relax. Titans, Jags, Dolphins. Dolphins just got Tua back. I think they're trying to readjust to him. I think he's trying to readjust to existing on a football field. Titans and Jags have just looked lost all year. Jags played us close actually last time, so I could be nervous. Chiefs, I feel like they're beatable. They're the only undefeated team left. I think they're beatable. I think if we address the things we need to address, we'll be okay there. Ravens, that's gonna be tough. I could see that going the Ravens' way. Then Titans to finish out the year. Yeah. Realistically, I could see us going 4-4. Did I get that right? No, I guess 5-3 is fair. 5-3 gets you to 11-6. And I included a Cowboys win, Titans win, Dolphins win, Jags win, Titans win. I think you can probably squeak one out against the Chiefs to make it 6-2, so 12-5. I find it really hard to see us beating Lions and Ravens, especially when all our wins have been narrow. Apart from this Patriots game, I guess. But I mean, Colts, by 3, Bills by 3, Jags by 4, Bears by 6, Colts by 2. Yeah, I mean, apart from the Patriots, it's not really been convincing. And like, I guess Packers, you could have won Packers. You could have won tonight. You definitely could have won tonight. I think a couple things just go your way. Maybe if C.J. Stroud doesn't get sacked as much. I think, I think, realistically, you could have won. We probably wouldn't have won the Vikings game. Kind of got dominated there. Yeah, I mean, 2 of our 3 losses are one-score games. I mean, 8 points tonight, 2 points against the Packers, and Packers are a good team. And so are the Vikings, and so are the Bills. So, I mean, we don't have bad wins or bad losses, except for the Jets and Vikings. At least the Vikings are good. I'm rambling. Okay, well, these are my immediate thoughts. I'll probably upload it just to get my foot in the door. And yeah, that's it. Appreciate you.